Hello and welcome to IT Security Labs. Today we're on day 21 of Advent of the Cyber Challenge. The goal of today is to make sure that we know what the YARA rules are, the basic structure of YARA, how to write basic YARA rules, and also how rules are used. So reading through this, you'll get a good idea. We are given an example here, which is really nice to go through. So I highly encourage you to take some time, make sure to understand the example. But in a nutshell, we have the metadata here, which is just the basic identifier of the rule. Then we have the strings, which is what we use for matching patterns, and also the conditions which have to match for these patterns to work. And the other rules are used for matching any patterns or behavior. And here is an example of the log4j YARA rule. And here there's exploit patterns that people are looking for the log4j. And if they see this as part of the URL, they're going to be alerting. This rule will fire. If they see certain base64, I did see, oh, here is a typical behavior here for the strings. If they see this in the URLs or things that are reaching out, they know that this might be an exploit, and they're even looking for base64. So YARA rules are very, very important in cybersecurity. So let's go ahead and answer a few questions that we're being told here. First, they said to launch the machine and then look for the site editor. So we just go in the machine, just click on the logo, SCI. All right, so in the site editor here, here's a test file that we'll be using. Then we have to use this rule here. So I'll just copy the rule. All right, so what is this rule doing? It's saying the description is anchor string, and we are looking for X50 anchor antivirus and test. This is what we are looking for in the test file. And we know that the file is an anchor virus. We did this yesterday. So all these conditions have to match A and B and C and D. So they all have to match for this rule to fire. So let's file save as, and let's save it on the desktop. All right, so now we have an anchor YARA file. Usually YARA files we end with a .yar, but in this case we didn't. But just know that in real life, most people like to save them this way. Then we learn about YARA options here. We do have a few options. You can just run YARA, the name of the YARA file, and the file that you want to test. And if you get a hit, it will show you. Or if you don't get a hit, it will just be blank. So let's actually do that right now. All right, so if we do an ls here, we do have an anchor YARA file and our test file. So now let's see if we get a hit or not. All right, so it did hit, which is good. So it looks like that. We can use -m option to return the metadata of the file that we hit. The output in this case will look like, just the metadata section of YARA. -m just returned exactly what we want. Then we can use -s to print out the strings that hit. Then we can tell which ones actually matched in this case. So let's use. All right, so we see exactly those questions. So now let's answer some questions. So they changed it from X50 to X50. Okay, so the condition for the YARA rule is for A and B and C and D. If you are to only make a change to the first Boolean operator in this condition, what Boolean operator shall we replace AND with in order for this rule to still hit the file? So we want it to be OR. That way, even if one of them doesn't hit, it will still match. What option is used in the YARA command in order to list down the metadata of the rules that were hit in a file? It's right here, -m. What section contains information about author of the YARA rule? I kept typing meta there. So metadata contains information about the author of the YARA rule. What option is used to print out rules that did not hit? All right, so if we run YARA help, looking through the help here, we're looking for printing the ones that did not work, and print only not satisfied rule -n. It looks like the answer here. All right. Change the YARA rule value for the A string to x50. Rerun the command, but this time with -c option. What is the result? So we're changing that to a 0. Let's save. -c is count. Print only numbers of the matches. So, and we got 0. We got 0 because they all have to match. Our rule says and on all counts. So that was it. Learning YARA, really cool stuff. I highly encourage you to complete this room and also check out the log4j vulnerability YARA rules that are out there. They're very interesting to see, especially when you're looking at the real deal that are actually out there and all these interesting things here. So if you like this, please remember to like and subscribe. Let's get to 30,000 subscribers here very soon. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.